you feel comfortable, feel at home, and I do believe that you'll be shared with a glass of water, yes, and just feel comfortable of yourself as we take you through the process, and we are hoping that God will guide you through as we continue. I will start with introducing my members. I am Isaac Bayakamau, member of County Assembly with your ward, and a chairman, Water, Climate Change and Natural Resources. And now I'll give my fellow members and the chairman of this committee. And now I'll give chance to my other honorable members to introduce themselves as clerk verifying that this is the nominee of today. Yes, before introduction, I will first give the clerk to ensure that, to give us the confirmation that you are the person that we are supposed to vet today. Yeah.
Good morning. This is Francis Mwangi Kibuika, our nominee for the position of a Chief Officer Water.
Yes, he is the one. Now, members, you can introduce yourself. And if you have your original document, you can share with our legal officer and that. Yes. I was advised accordingly that before you introduce yourself, we get the verification of his document, and then he takes the oath before that. Thank you. Yes, the legal officer will take you through to administer that oath.
You shall repeat this after me.
Okay. I,
State your name.
Francis Mwangi Kibuika,
Do swear that
the
information I shall give before this committee
information I'll give before this committee
shall be the truth,
the truth,
the whole truth,
and
nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Chair, you may proceed. The nominee has taken the oath.
Thank you, our legal officer. Now I'll give chance to my colleagues, honourable members, to introduce themselves as we proceed.
Good morning, Bwana Francis Mwangi.
Good morning to you.
I'm Honorable Karo Wango, a nominated MCA from Oljororok, Wero Ward. I'm the Vice Chair, Water. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
I'm Keruka Boru, MCA Sharagitawan, a member of this committee.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Duse Kidinji, member of this committee.
Good morning, Fete.
Morning to you.
Honorable Ibrahim Mwangi Minor, MCA Murungalo Ward, a member of this committee. Welcome.
Good morning, Engineer. My name is Milka Wajiro, a member representing the great people of Kirita Ward, a member of this committee. And Chairman, I want to declare that I know Engineer Mwangi Kibuika. He comes from my ward. He's actually a resident of the great municipality of Mairuinya, the upcoming municipality, so I know him personally, so he's from my ward. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Mwangi Kishoki from Engineer Ward and the Minority Leader.
Paul Wambaire, member of County Assembly, democratically elected for the great people of Kipipiri Ward.
Thank you, honourable members, for introducing yourself. I give chance to our clerk to take us through the supporting team.
I am Nancy Muthe, the clerk attached to this committee.
Kahinga John is my name, the legal counsel.
Hana Wambuku, research intern.
Maina Gashomo, Hansard, and you'll be on record.
Thank you. And we also have our Sergeant Atam, who is taking care of our things here. And we also have our cameraman. And he's one of us here. Mr. Kibuika, I would request you to get to your questionnaire that you received last time.
Yes.
And take us through that questionnaire for about 5 minutes. I think it will be okay with you. You got the questionnaire with you? As you introduce yourself.
I don't have it here.
Yes.
It would be
Are you
go through it, then
as well, you can be introducing yourself as our clerk will give you the questionnaire.
Okay. Honorable members, my name is Francis Mwangi Kibuika, and I come from Daragwa sub-county, from Kirita Ward, as Madam has said, and I'm a resident general of Nyandarua, and I've come to this committee being the nominee of Chief Officer Water. I've gone through other milestones like the interview at the public service and application, and that's why I'm here. I'm an engineer by profession, having studied in various colleges, and finally attained an engineering degree in civil engineering. I've also worked quite in a big duration with the Ministry of Water, and particularly in this county of Nyandarua.
Mr. Kibuika, I would request you open your questionnaire.
Yes.
And you take us now through the questionnaire.
With the questionnaire.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Page by page, if possible.
So members, I draw your attention to page 1. My name is Francis Mwangi Kibuika, as indicated there. And I applied for the position of Chief Officer Water. And as you can see, I'm a male. And my date of birth, I was born in 1962, March 2022. That is World Water Day in Daragwa constituency. I'm married and I have 5 children. My contact is as indicated there, 0720 868 861. And my email address is gmail, franciskibuika@gmail.com. ID number is 5974528. My PIN number, you can write, is A001 44 73 41Q. And I'm a Kenyan by nationality. My postal address is 1413 Nyahururu. As per the languages that I do speak, the first one, the major one, is English, which we are communicating with today. I also communicate in Kiswahili, and my home language, which is Kikuyu. When it comes to section 15, as regards education, I would rather start from where I started, so members, maybe I'll start from the bottom. The colleges that I first attended is Kenya Polytechnic, which is today known as Technical University of Kenya, where I obtained an ordinary diploma in water engineering in 1985. I later went back in 1988 to 1990, the same college, which is Kenya Polytechnic, or Technical University of Kenya, and obtained a higher diploma in water engineering. From there, I worked for quite some time in the Ministry of Water in various districts in Kenya, and later went to Egerton University in 2008 up to 2011, and I obtained a degree, a Bachelor of Technology degree in civil engineering. After 1 year, 2012 to 2014, I went to Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology and obtained a master's degree in project management. When we come to section 16, my employment record, currently I'm doing my own business. And I have also been engaging myself in construction industry, particularly on supervision of civil works. I've also been chairman of Matatu Sacco in my home area. That is since I left the Ministry of Water. But previously I was in the Ministry of Water, and I ended up being the District Water Officer, where I was manning the Nyandaraua County. By then, when we had no devolved governments, I was the one who closed that chapter as the District Water Officer. When it comes to 17, honors and awards, I have not had any honorary award. So I'll straight go to professional association. I've been registered with the Engineers Registration Board since 1992, which closed in 2019, and it was renamed as the Engineers Board of Kenya, which I am a member up to today. The professional business, fraternity and scholarship, civic, charitable and other organizations, and as I've said earlier, I've had a chance to be in the matatu sector, and I've been a chairman, and currently I'm a member of a matatu SACCO known as 4NT in Nyahururu, and also another SACCO in our area known as Victors. I've not published any writing so far, neither have I had any report that may have circulated in that level of the nation. And then I'll go to section 21 that deals with public office, political activities, and affiliations. In that section, excuse me. No, chronological and public offices for you have held or are currently holding service whether such positions were elected or appointed. When I left college in the Ministry of Water, I was later promoted to the level of superintendent, later to a senior superintendent, and finally a chief superintendent in the Ministry of Water. And finally, as I said before devolution, just at the end of devolution 2016, Nyandarua County. B of the same is talking about any membership and offices held in the services rendered or not, compensated or not, to any political party or election committee. Under this one, I was briefly involved from January 2021 to 2022 August in the campaigns for the party that has brought most of us in these offices, which was UDA, and particularly the county government of Dr. Kerry Patricia. I was the coordinator of his campaigns in Daragwa. I've never been dismissed from office at any one time, and I have never been associated with any practices that depict bias, favorism, or nepotism when I was discharging my public duties. I have no deferred income that I'm expecting, so that one is none. I have no outside commitments that I will pursue if I'm within this employment. My sources of income, that is section 24, it is talking about listing sources and amounts of money, income received during the calendar year, which is 2023, and even in the preceding year, which is 2022. In 2022, when I did my estimate, I found that in the construction industry, I ended up with 600,000. In the matatu business, I was able to get 1,200,000. I also got some proceeds from farming, 240,000, and some small rentals, which gave me 480,000. In 2023, I've not had any returns that can be tabled on construction and matatu business, but on the rent I've managed to get 80,000, and on the farming 30,000. That is the month of January and part of February. Section 25 talks about tax status, and I have compiled, as you can, as is indicated in my certificate there. And the section 26 is talking about net worth. I try to approximate my net worth. That is my residential house, my small car, which is about 300,000. So, and some plots that I have not constructed, and those rentals. And I saw it to be averaging to 45 million. Potential conflicts of interest. I'm not expecting any conflicts of interest, either from parties or even my family members. As regards any potential conflict that may occur during the time that I'll be with you, I expect that I'll do arbitration, negotiate by family members or friends, and if matters become worse or they go beyond, or they go overboard, we go maybe to court. But I'm not expecting to have any conflict. My prayer is that during the time that I'll be engaged, I will not have any conflict. That is my prayer. As for pro bono charity work and donations to charity, this one I found it to be, I have contributed to small magnitudes, so I decided not applicable. But what I want to state here is that during my time in the operation of business, we've had groups that have been visiting maybe children's homes. Like we have gone to St. Martin in Nyahururu, gone to special schools, social needs schools like Kwanjora, Kimaru, as a group. And during that time, we were able to contribute whatever somebody could contribute. So to that magnitude, I was able to contribute 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 to that level. I've never been charged in any court of law, Mr. Chairman. And I've never been adversely mentioned in any investigatory report. As regards whether I have any objection in making inquiries with my referees, because right now I don't have an employer, I have no objection, Mr. Chairman. And finally, I have presented my referees, people who are not related to me. The first one is Reverend Gabriel Waweru. I've indicated his phone number, which is 07-2444 and 189. I also given Mr. Samuel Jama. This one is a principal of a certain school in Nyeri. 07-27 47 08 and 28. I've also given Engineer KG Gaiko. This is a person who knows me very much. We started with him since the time I was in college. And we have practiced with him in the engineering section for quite some time. His number is 0722-302-401. And I think I'm through, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kibuika. We have been been notified by our clerk and legal team that we didn't get a copy of your academic your work experience, but if you can allow us, we can get a copy because we have it here with us. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Thank you.
It's okay.
I'll give a chance to my colleagues, honorable members, now to ask you questions. And we'll start with my vice chair, that is Honorable Caroline Jarara.
Bona Engineer, I have a few questions for you. Question number one, I would like to know why you want to be the Chief Officer, Water. Maybe you can note somewhere. Another one, under what statute is the position established? And also, I understand Nyandarua County has enough water for all of us. Which three things do you think need to be done to make sure that people of Nyandarua get enough water for in their homestead, enough for consumption, and that for irrigation? Thank you.
Madam, through the chair, I applied for this position due to various reasons. One of the reasons is that I'm an inhabitant and an interested party in the Nyandarua affairs, since that is my home and my business operation area. And for the other is that having crisscrossed Nyandarua when I was working, I've realized that there are some problems regarding water that our people have never attained solutions. And having been trained on that line for very many years, I wanted to take this opportunity so that issues that I thought that might have happened and have not happened, probably through God's will, I'll be able to attain them in collaboration with those that are in that area. That is now the honorable members, the governor, and my minister, so that now our people can realize solutions for those problems. Like, for instance, we have been talking about not having enough water in the homesteads. Maybe I can come with those solutions when I'm in that position. The statute that I think governs the position of the chief officer is the County Government Act. That's why that is the one that falls under the chief officer water. You've talked about problems that have been with our people in Nyandarua. I agree with you that we have very many problems regarding water. And my thinking is that if I'm given this position, I intend to implement those ideas that I have and use the resources that will be given to me in collaboration with those that we will be working with to ensure that these people get the water. Like, for instance, in Nyandarua, you find that we have very many constructions in terms of the roof. But you find that there are very many people who have not tapped the water. And yet they are still complaining that we don't have enough water for domestic use. If I can go and initiate a situation whereby maybe you people as honorable members, you can have an act that when we are making a house in Nyandarua, let it be mandatory that there is provision, the same way we say that there is provision for sanitation in the form of toilets, let us have provision for roof water harvesting. That way we shall reduce now the demand for water, so that the little water we have as service water and boreholes can be used for other activities. The other issue I've seen that is quite a problem is that in Nyandarua we have so many dams that were built during the colonial times. But incidentally, our people have the mentality that they can only be used for livestock or domestic. If we can work together and ensure that some of the dams that have quite enough water are used for irrigation, we make the necessary legislative amendments, and then we make sure that these people, they maximize the roof harvesting and the shallow wells, any other small water sources. We can now reserve the water in the dams for our people to irrigate. We have also been talking about, we have been giving people water, but ourselves we don't have water. Like in the case of Sasumwa Dam. We find that we drive our water to Nairobi, but basically we don't benefit. Maybe through you people, the honorable members, we can try to initiate a situation whereby these people can plow back because of the water they are harvesting from our Badia. Even if they don't pay us money, maybe they can pay us in kind, like building schools, developing water projects, things like that. So, Madam, I think I'm...
Okay, thank you. So, to you agree that we have enough water, it's only that it has not been well utilized, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll give chance to Honorable Keruka take you through.
Thank you, Chairman. I think I'm going to have two questions. One, I would like you to tell this committee how many water bodies do you have in Nyandarua? That is one. Number two, if we are going to approve you as a chief officer water, automatically you will become accounting officer. Can you tell us what do you mean, understand with the word, these two words, accounting officer? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I'll first tackle the first question. And I'll beg that you remind me the first question. Yes. I was a bit disturbed. What was your first concern?
I was asking how many water bodies do you have in Nyandarua? Or company?
Thank you, members. Yeah, this was a bit confusing because in technology, when you talk of a body, we talk about dams, maybe lakes like Borosat. But when you talk about the company, it's a body that provides water services. In Nyandarua, we have the one that controls around Orokarau, that is Orokarau Water and Sanitation. And we also have the Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company, which is supposed to take care of the rural water projects from Jabini up to Daragwa. From there, we have only now the small companies like the water providers. In our sub-county, we have a water provider like Daragwa. And I think even Donyojeru, there must be one. And of course, the other sub-counties. For the second question, Honorable Member, which you wanted me to talk about the accounting officer. This is the person that will be in charge of the expenditure in that department. When we talk about expenditure, it means that there is the money that will be allocated by you people in the budget, and it has to be expended in the right manner as indicated in the budget. So the accounting officer is supposed to ensure that if it is money meant to go to Githioro Ward, our chairman's place, let it go there, and it goes prudently. And the people that are under me, the engineers, the form of directors and technicians, they ensure that it is done according to specifications. So basically, is to ensure that the money given to the department and the resources within the departments are utilized efficiently and effectively. Thank you.
Do you have another? Have you finished, Honorable Keruka?
I have finished.
Then I give Honorable Lucy to take you through some questions.
Mr. Kivuika, since we are vetting you for the position of chief officer, kindly, would you mention to this committee the roles and functions of a chief officer?
Yes, madam.
A few of them.
One of the roles of a chief officer is, as I've said from the previous question, is to ensure that the resources and the funding in the department are prudently spent. The other one is that we have a working force. A workforce within the department. We have people who are drivers, others are engineers, others do the other works in the office. So the administration of these people will fall under the chief officer. The other one would be that at one time you may want to make budgets in the assembly, and I think we are the ones to make those budget plans and also the plans of the projects. So in the work of the accounting officer would be to initiate those plans and ensure that they are within the expectation. Because now I cannot come and say that I'm going to build a dam worth 1 billion, knowing very well that even the county itself cannot afford that to the Minister of Water. So they have to be within the expectation. The other one is that I have my CEC, or the minister. It will be upon me to advise him about the running of the ministry, and also to make reports if he has to present some report in the assembly. And at times, the governor himself may want some issues from the department, or even send me somewhere straight to myself. I will have to do that. And also, so basically that is what I will be doing as a chief officer. But there are many others, maybe they are not, but having been in such positions previously, I know there is quite some amount of work to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Honorable Ibrahim.
Thank you, Chair. Even before I proceed on questions, I have met Mr. Kifuika just now, so no conflict of interest. Mr. Kifuika.
Yes, sir.
From your questionnaire, I've seen you have just given on the upper education.
Yeah.
Did you happen to attend any primary school in this county? Or your primary and Form 4? It's good you narrate on that. Then, you are nominee of chief officer, where in Nyandarua we have problems, especially at this time when we have the dry season. Might you be aware there are conflicts of water from the sources, and how can we handle these cases now and even for future? Then it's also good you narrate how, whether we have the regulatory bodies within the water sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Let me say that this one went outside my, I did not indicate that, but it was not deliberate. The fact of the matter is that I did not go to college just from the village. I started my primary school I started in Nyahururu town, a school known as CCM. By then it was CCM, today it is Garenaro. But incidentally, during those times, people are not very well settled. I remember even this area we are in, between here and Nyahururu, it was known as silent, and there was no habitation. So, on reaching standard 4, my father found it necessary that I don't stay here because he found that he might waste those brains, Mr. Chairman. So he said that we moved together to Nakuru. We left the other family in Nyahururu. So I completed my primary school in Nakuru, a school known as Uhuru Primary School, just on your way as we moved towards Njoro. After I did my CPE in 1975, I was called in Nakuru Day Secondary School, which I did from 1976 to 1979, Form 4, and then proceeded to Chania High School in Thika, where I did my A-levels. I was called to do some education course in Kenyatta University, but my feeling was not to be a teacher. So we decided with my family that I pursue the line that I was interested in. That's how now I came to join the engineering section, the engineering line through the Ministry of Water. I was called in the Ministry of Water and then sponsored in Kenya Polytechnic. So that is the academic part of the issue. The other issue was on dry season and the conflicts that are due to the weather. Yes, I agree with you. At a time like today, when there is people are talking about climate change, there is there's hardly enough water for whatever you are doing, whether it is irrigation, even domestic. And it is bound to bring a lot of conflict. To me, because everybody is entitled to water, remember in the Constitution, we are saying water is a right. So both the parties, they have right to access to that water. So ours would be to try to negotiate between the two groups and use the relevant institutions, their chiefs, their elders, church members, and themselves and ourselves, so that we see to it that everybody gets satisfied to some limit. And we as the department, we should also come in as an advisory body, whereby we educate them on the water laws, so that if somebody is contravening the law, it should be told that, yes, you want the water, but you are doing it the wrong way. For example, there is a law that says if you are abstracting water, you have to have a meter at the abstracting point. So if you are just abstracting and you don't have the meter, surely, me as the officer, I have to tell you, you are going against the law. So provide the meter, so that probably when the meter comes, you will not have excess and you will not deny the others water. And of course, we as the ministry, we have to come up with solutions that apart from now encouraging a situation whereby conflicts will come in, we ensure that we bring in policies that people will be having enough water so that at the end of the day, there are no conflicts. On point number 3, you are saying, you are asking whether there are any regulatory bodies. Yes, we have, Honorable Member. First, we have the Water Act, the National Water Act. And I'm very sure even within the county, we have an act governing the water resources and its use, which of course has to be in tandem with the National Act of 2016. And under that act, it has clearly defined the roles of different bodies so that they can be able to work together and ensure that our resources are well utilized. We have the WRA, used to call it WARMA. This is the one that governs the resources. If you have to abstract water from a river, you have to have a permit, we have to have a storage. It talks about our resources and how they can be well managed. And then we have the boards. Like here in Nyandarua, we are supposed to be at the Rift Valley Water Services Board, which now this one is supposed to control the usage of water, and ultimately the sewerage works or the wastewater. We also have the WASREB. This WASREB is supposed to come up with the laws, or rather, I don't know how I can call them. They are not actually laws. Maybe to a certain limit they are like laws, but by laws, so that there will not be those conflicts. Like when it comes to the billing, they are the ones who set the standards of the billing, so that every project cannot now overcharge the consumer or undercharge, so that they are not able to run. But and also on top of that, we have the regulatory authority, which deals with appeals. If you have any appeals against a body, the other body, you use those ones. Thank you, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair.
I will take this opportunity to give chance to Honorable Mirika, who happened to know you before, and I do believe that she will ask you some of the hard questions, considering she know you there before.
Definitely, I'll do that. I know engineer, and in terms of water, he will answer even the hardest. And I'm asking one of the hardest questions now as we speak. Engineer, karibu sana. And one of the questions that I want to ask you is, you have mentioned about the regulations, you mentioned about the County Government Act, and you mentioned about the Water Act. But one of my question is, what policies will you initiate if you're successful, to help us regulate or map this, the water issues? And secondly, you come from a very, very dry area, that is Ndaragwa, that depending on rainfall for agriculture has made those areas very not productive. So in your own initiative, how will you help such areas in Nyandarua County not to depend on rainfall, but also on what is that initiative that you make sure that Nyandarua has enough food, not depending on rainfall? And then the last question would be, Nyandarua County has a governor who is Dr. Kiarie Badirisha, and he has a manifesto. Under you, the ministry, or under the Department of Water, what is his flagship? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member Wanjiru, my MCA. It's good to tell these members that we like you very much. And if you continue the way you are doing, you might be better placed in 2027. Let me tackle your first question, which was on the policies that I might initiate to assist these people now that did I get it correctly? Maybe, Madam, you can repeat the first one.
Engineer, we have the Water Act.
Yes.
What are the policies you will initiate?
Okay. Yes, apart from ensuring that we follow the Water Act, both the national and the county one, we may come up with some policies that will help our people manage these resources that we have. Because as our member said, the deputy, that the water in Nyandarua is enough. It's only that we are not exploiting it to the expectation. I want to come up with one of the policies that I want to initiate. Is the one I was saying that, Mr. Chairman, I want you to make a registration. When I'm building in Nyandarua, let me bring in a component of rainwater harvesting. That is one of them. The other one I've been thinking of is that in collaboration with the other ministries, like the Ministry of Agriculture, I would propose that we don't continue relying on this long season planting. Like in our area, we have been very much relying on maize, which is planted in the month of March, April, and expected to be harvested in the month of October, November, December, about 6 months. And the way I've seen the climate change.
Then I request we just close our windows. I think that will help us. Yeah.
So as I was saying, Chair, if we can be able to come up with a policy that we no longer rely on this long duration planting, we now go for shorter duration, like 3 months. And then we also educate our people that if you have a portion of maybe this size of a land portion, we demarcate it in maybe to 5 times. So that when you start planting a 3-month crop, you use 1 portion. And when it comes to another, when the other rain comes, you go to the next portion. By the time you are finishing the 5th portion, you do, like we were saying, talking about crop rotation, so that every rain is utilized, and every portion is able now to give the farmer what he can, at least something to sustain the family. The other issue is that we should come up with a policy that we no longer now restrict our dams to domestic usage. You people make a legislation that now we can now welcome our people to do some irrigation. Like in our place in Daragwa, we have very, very good dams. Just next to our honorable member, a place known as Mongedo, we have a very big reservoir dam known as Mongedo. But it just lies right there because people just come and get water for domestic. If we can look for other sources of water for domestic for these people, like in terms of roof harvesting, we also drill shallow wells for them. They will have sufficient water for their livestock and even for household use. And then those people who are near now that dam can now be now allowed through using those acts to irrigate, and then they will be able now to feed the community surrounding. That is the other policy. And the other issue is that education is also very important to our people, so that they know how to utilize this water, where not to do it, and what to do. Madam, I might not have excessively maybe given that one, but at least the other one is that rainwater dependency. I think I've touched on this one, that we don't continue relying on these long duration crops. We ensure that we utilize our water when it is available. And I'm very happy because our governor, when we were doing some campaign, I heard him talk about making sure that he exploits all the reservoirs, the dams. If these dams now can be tapped to the maximum, and then we give those policies that we can now do some irrigation, then I think this issue of just waiting for the rain, we might not eliminate it completely, but at least we have done something about it. As for the third concern, our governor had those flagship projects, and in our social pillar, where my ministry lies in, he was talking about flagship projects in terms of rehabilitating the existing dams. So if we can rehabilitate those dams, then I think we will be home and okay. We have very many dams, like in Orokarao, Kaipaga area, we have a lot of very many dams. In Daragwa, we have them, and even in some parts of Kinagop. So if he does that, and I think he was talking about some hundreds, I think it was about 300. So if every sub-county can have 60 of them, this issue of maybe depending on the rain, and in line with those policies I'm proposing, we will have tackled now that issue of not depending on the rain. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I'm comfortable.
Mwangi from Engineer Ward.
Thank you, Chair. I see, Kifika, you've worked for over 20 years experience.
Yes.
On matters water.
Yes.
I would want to know, within these 20 years, you've worked in Nyandarua, all of it?
No. I was in other districts.
You've also worked in other districts. About how much of that time have you spent in Nyandarua?
I came in Nyandarua in around 2002.
2002.
Left in 2017. It was about 15 years.
It's about 15 years. Then I would say that you are well versed with matters water, Nyandarua.
Yes.
What is the greatest gap that you think is the main reason you want this job? and you want to fix, what is the greatest gap? And I want to guide in the in relationship to the time. For example, I can see at one stage you are the Nyandarua water officer, the highest level for the county then.
Yes.
What is this you did not achieve then, and you think now, given another opportunity, you can achieve?
One thing is one thing is to appreciate that I spent the 15 years chairman, and I did not come up with any scandal. I think, Honorable, you congratulate me for that. The other is that on your issue is that during the time that I was the district water officer or working with the Ministry of Water, you remember very well. By then, funds were controlled from the headquarters in Nairobi. And you could find a situation whereby somebody in Nairobi just so decides, let us have 10 dams in Nyandarua. Moja in Kinangop, another in Taragua, another in Duduri. But the people themselves have not been involved. But now that the devolution have come, and the honorable member of that particular ward is able to identify the problems of her or his people, I find that if given this position, I'll do it better. Because now, somebody in Nairobi is not dictating what I should do, but we are working with those we are together at the ward level, so that we can identify the most critical project that should now be implemented. And mind you, my dear honorable member, we have diverse differences in terms of water sources and even the level in our sub-counties. Like if you think of river flows, some areas like Itaragua, we don't have rivers. But when you go to Kipiripiri, would be basically you have water, or you have rivers. So when we are talking about now gravity systems, we now target very much Kipiripiri. But when now we are talking about service water, now we think of Darago. What I want to say is that during that time, much as one would have wanted to benefit his people, there was that limitation that you are not able to make decisions with the beneficiaries themselves.
2016, 2017. No, 2012, 2016. You were in Daragua. Yes. It is in the knowledge of all of us, yes, that Daragua is the most dry area within our county.
Yes.
I just want to have a feel. By then we had counter governments.
Yes.
So I want to have a feel of what is this most unique advice you gave. It may not have been because you are not absolute control of the finances, but what is this unique thing you advised either the then CEO, the then Minister for Water, or even the governor himself on matters Daragua and how water issues need to be resolved?
Excuse me. I remember I had our CEO in Rift Valley Water Services Board, and having been the head in Daragua sub-county, it is during our time that we came up with the thinking that if we can tap these big rivers, we have big dams, they can benefit our people. And it is during this time that this idea of Pesi, Malewa, and Keja were brought in. So that is initiative I was in it. The other issue is that we have a project, I don't know, for those who have gone to Daragua, we have a big project known as the Shao Karagoini. And during my time, I remember I advised that since we don't have any other reliable water source, it is good that money is looked for, and then the Shao Karagoini is given some extension. And it has come to be because during her time, when she was the Minister of Water in the department, that project iliongezeka and it became a
Thank you. That was good enough. At least I know of Karagoinde water project, which is a success. All along, you've been a civil servant. For a period of how long? The ministry. You still a civil servant as we speak? Termination, all by choice? Retirement, all resignation? Correct. You vied in Daragwa, I've seen that. Member of Parliament. My last one is on this climate change. I'm asking it because you've been in service for that long. And we are suffering because there are things we didn't do right. Nyandarua hosts the greatest water tower, which is the Ambadeyas, where climate change appears to take center stage. What is this that you're going to do as the CEO? Although I know there's a CEO in charge of the climate change, but even from your experience, what is this that Nyandarua needs to uniquely, in a unique manner, be given as a focus through the funding of climate change because of it being a water tower? The disadvantages we have had, what you did about it then, because you are the people who were supposed to take action, and why you think we are disadvantaged and ought to be given an advantage.
As regards climate change, remember, this one is a complicated issue. It is contributed by others over. Because we have industries like the Japan, the Chinese, and even the Russians. These people, because of the industries, we contribute a lot of emissions. The change of the climate is as a result of blocking the ozone layer, and even having those gases rolling on them. The only now part we can play we as Kenya, and more so than here. I would recommend that we ensure that we plant a lot of trees. At the mountain itself, the range itself, and even at the domestic level. So that now, when now you plant trees, by releasing oxygen and consuming that carbon dioxide, you can now try to avoid that global warming. The other issue we can do is that when it comes to disposal of these solid waste, like utility towns like Wakarau, Engineer, and Geology, we ensure that they are done in a better manner, whereby we don't release so many gases. Like the issue of burning, we can reduce that, as opposed to burning. So, and also you people as an honorable member, maybe you can also take this time to negotiate with the Senate and the Parliament, so that even if we are encouraged to plant trees, honorable member, the level of the country should also talk to the world that these people who are meeting in the industries, something should be done. Because it will be futile if we plant trees, we do it on our part, and yet those people are contributing. So some legislation is done within the government.
Okay, I'm okay, Chair.
We give this chance to Honorable Geshe from KPP Board.
Good morning, Engineer Francis Kibuika. Good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
There is public service And you've just told this committee that you prematurely retired. In Kenya, the mandatory retirement age is how many years? 60 years. So you prematurely retired when you were at how old? 55. When is your next birthday? Meaning you will be at 61. Okay. 61. I draw your attention to your questionnaire 21B. 21B, January 2021 to August 2022. Gubernatorial campaign for UDA candidate, into bracket Dr. Kiarie Badilisha, as sub-county coordinator, into bracket Daragwa. So you have campaigned for His Excellency the Governor for 2 years, so that he give you this position. Is this not a reward? Are you in any way disabled? There is a circular by the minister, Aisha Jumwa, that is going around that for those people who have attained the mandatory retirement age, they should not be extended their term. Neither should they be in public service. Now we have already cropped the retirement age. Will it be fair if we proceed and we go against it and offer you a job, this job? Comment something.
As regards the first issue of the campaign, I remember when I was doing some swearing here, one of the issues that I repeated is that I would say the truth and nothing but the truth. I knew very well most of the members who were in campaign in the Nyandarua County. And in one way or another, you might have met with me campaigning for the gubernatorial seat. So I did not want to contravene what I am saying here. And that's why I thought it is very important that it tell the truth. That I did that. But as regards my working or my request for this seat, it has nothing to do with rewarding. Because what I did is that when the seat was advertised, I applied for it and submitted my qualification. I also underwent the mandatory requirements that is being by the public service board of the county, and there is nowhere that the governor can do. So what I want to state here is that it is good to note that I have attained that age. But mind you, my honorable member, I am not applying for permanent and pensionable work. This one will be under contract. And if I'm given the contract, I have nothing to do with getting pension, neither will I be permanent. So I think as far as I'm concerned, I qualify to be given this vacancy, 100 over 100. Thank you, sir.
Who is your member? Who is your area member of County Assembly?
The area member of County Assembly is Honorable Ajiro.
That is your area, member of County Assembly.
The member of County Assembly?
Yes.
MCA?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Are you in any way planning to vie for that seat on 2027?
No. As regards politics, this was the last one. I'm through with it.
Which one?
The MP, and I'm not going back. Because now she is also a potential MP, and I don't want to compete with her. The others, and others. So for me, I just want to go with this one, and then I give Nyandarua what I have, and then.
Yeah, you've responded how I waited you to respond. So now this is your retirement plan, to get money so that you can develop your properties.
Not really, my honorable member. What I wanted to say is just to answer your question about planning to take a certain seat. I don't have intention of taking a seat, a political seat. Neither do I want to make any retirement. In any case, I told you, my dear honorable member, that I'm already driving a simple car worth 300,000. I've also built a house for my family. So basically, there is nothing I would say I've come to look for as a basic. So mine is just to offer to Wanjiku what I have before I move out. And then maybe I'll be read in the history books that during the time of Engineer Francis Kibuika, watu wa Nyandarua walipata hii na just that.
So you are telling us you will not be using the government vehicle, you will be using, given the chance, you will be using your 300,000 car?
No, I'm saying, not really. What I'm saying is that if there are duties that are assigned, and then I'm supposed to use a government vehicle, if it is within the law, I have no problem. But if it is my issues, and I'm saying this with honesty, I will be using my car vehicle. For example, if I want to take you to Udhoni somewhere, why should I use this vehicle you have given me? Let us use my kajanki to end up.
Rastri. Who is the appointing authority? Who is your appointing authority?
My appointing authority, sir, is the governor.
What are you doing here now?
I thought before he gives me the work, or rather the seat, the law states that I have to be taken to Parliament, or rather the Assembly, so that you people, because you are part of the government, the other arm of the government, you have to agree with him, so that now you move in tandem. That's why I have come for vetting. He has said, I want this man. You people there, being the other side of the government, this other arm of the government, you have to say, hata si tumekubali. And I think, Honorable Member, that's why I'm here.
So the county public service, are you aware of such board?
The Public Service Board?
Yes.
Yes.
What is the role of the county public service board?
It is to appoint these public officers in liaison with the wishes of the governor. Yes.
So who will fire you if you are given this job?
The County Service Board.
County Service Board?
Yes.
That's an area you need to research.
Okay.
Yeah, finally, you've said that water is rife.
Yes, sir.
Why are you not drinking your water? Thank you.
Maybe through the chair. Just before he answers the question on why the water, you may not necessarily be thirsty. I can answer for him. I am just curious. Who is going to be your CC? You know your CC for water?
Yes.
He's Mr. Who?
He's Mr. Mogo.
Mr. Mogo.
Yes.
Where does he come from?
Mogo, he is from Daragwa, but he settled in Olakara. That is the truth of the matter.
I want to agree then. You have diffused my question, because I was just wondering how we have a minister coming from Nyandarua, then you want to have a CEO coming from Nyandarua. In terms of equity, if you were the appointing authority and looking at Nyandarua and the expansiveness of Nyandarua, do you think it would be right to have in the same docket a minister coming from the same area, the CEO coming from the same area? Would you find that as a good practice? And in terms of equity, considering other parts of Nyandarua, do you think it would be fair?
I think, to me, as long as the governor does some balancing, and then, for example, if he has 10 CECs, he ensures that every sub-county has a CEC. And then from there, he comes now to the CEOs. He has to ensure that every sub-county has some CEOs. If by coincidence your profession finds you that you just land in where the minister comes in, then I think it is quite in order, as long as, in any case, to me, honorable members, I would rather we think about Nyandarua. Let us not restrict ourselves to our localities at home, because the CEO might be biased and provide maybe water to Kirita and deny Gadara. If I can be in a position whereby, as a CEO, I consider Gadara equally with Kirita, Kirita equally with Gadanji, and even Kipiripiri Geta, I think that would be the best practice.
Okay, Chair, just final one. Do we have a sub-county called Kipiripiri?
Kipipiri.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
The Chair, as I pass the mic, the last one. Engineer.
Yes, sir.
If from now, what's the expectation of Wajiko if you are nominated in this the post? What do they expect? How are you going to do it in a unique way so that it's not going to be tradition for the expectation of Wajiko in the Nyandarua County?
That is a very good question, because at least one has to make a difference. What I intend to do, my honorable member, is that I initiate those policies that I was talking about here, so that when you come to Mashinani, you see things now changing. When the people in Nyandarua or in Kinango see that now they are allowed to irrigate with those dams, and at the same time they have some domestic provision of water, at least you see some change. The other thing is that I would wish that I do things in a timely manner, whereby if we say this project will be completed by this time, all our efforts should be geared towards that, to make sure that we are timely. And also, if there are some wastes, like in these projects, these bodies we were talking about, Orokarao and Nyandawas, I've realized that most of the losses of water are making a lot of the revenue for the company is lost because of those losses. I would wish to ensure that there is a lot of surveillance within the projects so that we minimize the losses, and at the end of the day, the revenue will come up, so that by the time Kibuika leaves office, they will be saying wakati wa Kibuika, things became better. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kibuika. So far, you have answered in a very good way. And as I give the final remarks, I would like also to ask you a few questions, but not many. And they are not tough like the ones of Honorable from Kipipiri. You said that you have 45 million and you are worth 45 million and your car is worth 300,000. That is only what we got. That's a drop of water in the sea. Maybe you can little bit highlight to us the rest 44.7 million. Little bit, yeah.
Thank you, Chairman. I might not have the detailed report, but on a general outlook, my kaka is about 0.3 of a million. My car. And then from there, I have a residential plot that I indicated is giving me some rentals. That one I gave it 20 million. And then I have a shamba. Where I hail from, I had bought a shamba. During our time, Mwana Chairman, the only confidence you could give your parents is that after school you have bought a shamba. So I bought a shamba. That shamba today I give it about 2 million. And then from there I have where I live in Mairoina. I have built a house which is about 10 million, sitting on a 2 million plot. So that one comes to 12. And then I'm not very comfortable in the house, but at least the household goods, I gave them about 1 million. About 1 million. And then from there, the remainder is in terms of plots that have not developed in various areas in Nyahururu, Mairoine, and Leshaupondo. That's how I distributed them, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, at least now we understand on that. Now, maybe you have given us the names of your referees.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you have not indicated, you have said that Levered, and you mentioned his name, but we don't know, is a Reverend of which church? And you know these days everyone can be a Reverend. You have also indicated you have a principal. We don't know whether anyone can call himself a principal in his own way. You should also clarify to us.
Okay. So the principal is in Keriogo Secondary. Keriogo Secondary. Keriogo. Yes. And the Reverend is Reverend Duawero of Elim Revival Church in Mairoine. Yes.
Engineer?
Engineer is just, he used to be a civil servant, but of late he retired. So he's just a retiree.
Okay. Now, you are getting into a new office and you become a chief officer. You'll find there is already a working office. There is staff. They have already started working. They have the plan. How are you going to work with them and to ensure that some of the things that already have been laid on are working without starting afresh?
What I intend to do, Mr. Chairman, if I'm given this seat, my first few days, will be to orient myself with the happenings of the department. And one of the orientation will be in terms of projects. I would want to know the ongoing projects, the projects that have been planned but have not been implemented, and what were the expectations, so that I pick from there. I don't want to have a situation whereby there is conflict because of just abrupt change. I've been trained on change management, and one of the elements is that don't try to create a rift whereby these people will start now fighting you. So my first few days will be to orient myself, see what is there, and then start building on what is there already. Then as I move on, that's when now I will bring in the policies that I was trying to drive in, the ones I was telling you, honorable members.
Okay.
Yes.
And on your questionnaire form, on number 18, question number 18, that is professional association. You did give us certificate from your professional body. I don't know. It is good if we can get those certificates.
It was there. The EBK.
Okay, we'll look at that matter before you leave the place. I hope that's okay. Final one. We have a water policy that is coming. That is, it is already. We are preparing that we have the water policy, and we pass it in this assembly so that it can start to be implemented. The implementation can start immediately. I hope that if luckily you get this chance, kindly make sure that you speed up that matter. Call us for a meeting, and we don't hold a meeting here, so that we can look for that policy. Finally, you said that you have your house in Mairenya. It is my appeal to you that because you got a good job, you'll get a good job. Maybe you'll be getting someone to drive you around. Do you have a plan of moving out from Mairenya to the neighboring county as usual? You know, many people when they get chance, they move out from Nyandarua County.
Chairman, I will start with answering the last one, and state categorically here that I don't have any plan to move out, because I have settled there, and apart from work, there are other issues that regard your family affairs. So I have no intention of moving from Kirita. And for the other one about the policy, this one, I think, even if I'm not requested, it should be part of my work as the CU, because as she was asking me, all these duties, if there are any issues you people as the assembly have passed, it is my obligation to ensure that they are implemented within the department. So if there is that policy, I promise you, Chairman, I will take care of it. And if it means going somewhere and we discuss seated somewhere, I have no problem with that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Before I give you the parting shot, we have Honorable Ajiro who would give us the final remarks. I will not ask any question. Then after that, you give us your parting shot. I will also direct next what to do. Yeah, Honorable Ajiro, go on.
Thank you, Engineer. We just appreciate that you came. I'm very proud of you. I know you very well. But there's one thing that I want to tell you, that in case you're successful, there's a very, very critical document that needs to be implemented. Yes, I was there before, but we were not able to implement it. The water master plan for Nyandarua County. If you implement that, then we'll appreciate it. And why I've said this is because you have the institutional memory. Probably you were one of the drafters who drafted the water master plan for Nyandarua. If you could retrieve some of the information that we were not able to get, because most of the engineers during the ministry, like you mentioned, the engineer Gaiko, have already left. So we do not have really the institutional memory. I'm happy now you are coming in with that institutional memory. Help us develop that Nyandarua water master plan, and whatever information is there, you will help us. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kavika.
Yes.
Now we'll give you 2 minutes to give your final remarks.
Mr. Chairman, I want to take this opportunity to say that I'm very grateful to have met you. I've seen some of you outside there, but I never thought that we will one day meet when you are on that side and I'm on this other side. And apart from maybe two or three issues that pushed me to the corner, I would say the others were a bit friendly. And I'm very happy to have been with you. Now what I want maybe to say is that you have heard from me, you have scrutinized my documents. What I would request is that consider this man for that seat. I'm requesting that. And without mincing my words, I'm saying that I have the experience and the drive to move that ministry ahead. So consider me, and I hope if I'm given that seat and I'm in that office, when I see you knocking in my office, I'll not let you down, gentlemen and ladies. The other thing is about what Madam Wanjiru has said about the master plan. As I was telling the chairman, I will try to see what is already on the table. Madam, I will look for that master plan, and if possible, try to fast track whatever is remaining. And as you said, that experience that I had of the institutions, I will very much try to use it so that it becomes a realization, so that when we are leaving the scene, at least there will be something Nyandarua people will be proud of. I say thank you very much. We continue with that spirit, and we shall be together if given the position to develop Nyandarua. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much. And it's like member wanted to clap for you. Can you do that as you are? Thank you. Honorable, Mr. Kibuika, you can confirm your original document, whether they are all there. Yeah, before you leave. And I take this opportunity to wish you all the best. We do believe that you offer the best. If this member give you that chance, I'm sure, and I believe after this they will sit down somewhere and write the report. We hope the report will be positive. Number two, thank you so much, our honorable members, for ensuring this day and this interview or this vetting goes as we planned, and also our supporting team. After this, after you have confirmed your document, I'll give chance to Honorable Lucy Gedeji and Chief Tam to take you somewhere. You enjoy a cup of tea. This is the best place. You can drink something, you can eat something, and we are proud of you. Thank you, and thank you again, Honorable members, for today.
Chairman, I wanted to, there is a certificate that you had indicated is not being seen. I have it here. I don't know whether you have seen it, eh?
Yeah. It was computer error, and human computer error.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
The certificates are all there. Yes. Okay, thank you very much, and bye for now.